Hey everybody, welcome to another happy episode of my Partridge Family Collection. It's a happy episode, as opposed to the last episode. If you didn't get a chance to take a look, I talked a little bit about David Cassidy's induction into the California Music Hall of Fame, and well, go back and watch that if you're wondering how that went. Didn't go well. Let's put it that way. But I regrouped. I calmed down and I said, you know what? I've got a cool collection and I want to share it with you guys. And I know you guys are hopefully really getting a kick out of it and bringing back a lot of memories. I know it does me like so many times. And I'm wearing a special shirt today. I'm wearing this VH1 Partridge Family shirt. It's a staff shirt. I never wear it because it's so valuable and they're very rare. And of course, if you remember, VH1 tried to do a reboot of the Partridge Family. They actually did a reality show type audition show, I guess. And Emma Stone actually won the role of Lori Partridge. I don't think they didn't do much after the contest. I guess it was like one of those survivor type contests, right? They were going to recreate the Partridge Family, but I think that the auditions and things like that were probably a little bit more clever than actually trying to reboot the Partridge Family. I mean, you get lightning in a bottle once in a lifetime. You're not going to recreate that. You're not going to recreate, the phenomenon that was David Cassidy or the music or the production or all that stuff. It's not gonna get done. But I did run across this staff shirt that was never worn, that was given to the staff on set, and I had it in my closet for many years, but I was looking for a shirt that didn't have a bunch of wrinkles, and this was the only one. So I'm not going to be eating anything. I'm not going to be drinking anything. I'm going to be very careful. I'm gonna almost like want to do the John Travolta like in Saturday Night Fever, where he puts the tablecloth around around himself so he doesn't drip anything on it. But yeah, I don't like to wear it. It's one of my prized possessions of my t-shirts. But I probably should do a show with all my t-shirts because I do have quite a few. But on today's episode, I was thinking about like summertime coming up. And one of my favorite times as a kid in the summertime, and maybe you can relate to this too if you're of a certain age, was going on road trips with my family. We didn't have a lot of money, so getting in the station wagon, packing up a tent, or sometimes my dad would like rent one of those pop-up tents that would he'd pull with the station wagon. So Brady Bunch, right? And we would just like hit a campground. We lived in California, so we'd go maybe up north, visit some family, camp at the beach. That was always fun. And in the 70s, it was fun. It was safe, right? You can do that. You can pitch a tent places, and people pretty much left you alone, or there'd be other families there where you kind of make friends with some other kids and things. But those were some of the good memories that I had growing up, and just getting in the station wagon. And my mom always liked to pack a bag full of like activity books, and like we didn't have you know DVDs and on big headphones, or Roblox or whatever, Mario Brothers. We didn't have the video games or anything like that. I think my brother had like a Game Boy, like in the late 70s, but early 70s, we had like those little marble things that you put in. You tried to get into the hole. You had those little travel games. And we had activity books. And my mom would pack like activity books for me, especially because I love drawing and I love doing like puzzles and coloring and things like that. And it kept us busy, right? We weren't like going crazy in the backseat. So I pulled out some of my favorite activity books that are Partridge Family related, David Cassidy related. I've got so many to show you. And a lot of these I haven't looked at in a while, but I thought it would be fun and maybe even spark a memory or two with you on some of these books. But we'll look into them because they were so much fun. We had so much fun in the 70s. I know it's hard to believe, but we really did. We made the best of everything. But activity books, I mean, were it. At Christmas time, if I got an activity book, oh, I loved it. I loved it. You wouldn't see me for hours afterwards. And especially with the Partridge Family, I mean, come on. You can get any better than that. So let's go to the overhead. We'll take a look at some of these activity books that I have, and then go back in time for you know, a few minutes. Let's do it. All right, are you ready for this? Are you ready to get in the station wagon? Stand up in the back seat and do some activities. I thought at first I'd show you some coloring books that I have because I don't have that many coloring books, and I can't think I could do a complete show on just the coloring books. So I thought I'd include this because, of course, that was, you know, I had my big bag full of crayons and my coloring books, and I was set, right? And I did have some Partridge Family coloring books as a kid, and I picked these up a little later. Sorry, Kimberly, I have your your coloring book. But yes, mine were thrashed, and so I had to pick these up a little bit later. And there's two of them, but they're basically the same. The coloring books and all the activity books actually came from Artcraft, which was a big craft type toy company. Sawfield and Artcraft. They did like the paper dolls as well. So we'll just take a look at these. Are both the same inside. This one came out earlier. Obviously, we have old Chris, and then the later coloring book with Brian Forster, of course, but they didn't change the inside. The insides are both the same. So whoever had this comic book, they were a really good colorist, I guess. And wow, I wish you could smell this, right? Remember the old crayon smell? This, it just, you open it up and you just get taken back in time there. So this is basically the story of the first episode of the Partridge Family, season 1, episode 1, where the kids are, you know, discussing, you know, being in a band and taking their show on the road. Mom is like, you guys, stop that music. And yeah, so we couldn't remember that, but you can see sometimes this, you know, person colors. It's really great. The very famous scene of Chris hitting the recording button with his drumsticks, the tape recorder. Some of these are faded, and of course, Danny takes Tracy to meet Reuben, try to get his attention. They follow him into the bathroom. It's the whole season 1, episode 1. You guys know the story. And these are great pictures. They try to convince their mom to come on the road with them. Famous picture. Man, I would have colored the bus. The bus was the first thing I always colored. Yeah. Great memories. Wow, I wish I had smell-o-vision. Remember smell-o-vision? Like you would just like go crazy if you could smell this coloring book right now. Even though there's no crayon, really very little pages colored, it still has that coloring book smell. Yeah, and then that's pretty much the whole episode, right? On the musical road to fun and adventure. So this came out, I think, in 1970, this coloring book. I think it has a trademark of it. That could be the Partridge Family trademark, though, maybe 70, early 71, I'm guessing. And then the second edition of the coloring book came out a little bit after. Obviously, we see New Chris, adapted from the ABC television series. So the covers are different, but the inside is the same. Let's just show you. Like page for page, it's the same. Kimberly got this in 73, so maybe this came out probably 73, 72. The price never changed. It was still 39 cents. What a bargain. So if Artcraft came out with any other coloring books for the Partridge Family, I'm not sure. I don't have them, and I've never seen them. These are the only 2 coloring books that I've seen. But very cool. But let's get into the activity books, because that was the fun, right? So the Pictorial activity book, so great, right? Again, by Artcraft. Keith, Shirley, Lori, Chris, Tracy, Danny. Such a cute picture. You got things to make. Oh, and also Reuben. You got things to make, posters to color, full color stand-up, special pin-up portrait, and a special book for Partridge Family fans. A little bit more expensive than the coloring book at 69 cents, but not too bad. Just open it up and you have full color, which is always great. Welcome to our book. Oh, by the way, it's hosted by David Cassidy. My name is David Cassidy, and this is my TV family, the Partridges. Famous photo. Tracy looks a little half sleepy there. Hi, everybody. We're the Partridge Family with Reuben Kincaid, our manager. And you can see it says Sawfield Publishing. Artcraft was part of Sawfield Publishing, who also did the paper dolls. We got a maze. I would have been all over this. This is our Partridge Family bus. Shirley telling everybody about how you can try to get the Partridge Family to Club Oasis. So fun. And then some quotes by David and Danny, but actually, if you read these, if you take a few minutes, maybe pause and read these, they're more like Henny Youngman type jokes, I guess you would say. Rodney Dangerfield type jokes. The old vacuum cleaner joke. So I don't know. Maybe they thought we were young kids in the 70s. We never heard these jokes before. They were new to us. So. Susan Day plays the part of Lori and wears all groovy clothes. Her birthday is March 6th. As we know, this is a typo. Lori's birthday is not March 6th. It's December 10th. And if you look at the up-to-date album that we spotlighted actually a few episodes ago, you can see that. So I was looking through this earlier and I was like, oh, typo. But still a cool picture to color. Not her birthday, though. Susan Day or Lori, actually. They shared the same birthday. A Partridge Family greeting card for you. And you can sort of like put out, color this and cut it out, fold it, and you get yourself a birthday card for somebody, for your Partridge Family fan. David Cassidy's birthday is April 12th. That's correct. I think that was the only typo of that March 6th. They might have flopped it with Suzanne Krauf, whose birthday is March 6th. So that's probably what happened there. Everybody loves David Cassidy. We sure do. Not a great illustration of him, but okay. Great illustration of Danny. Got his freckles there you can color. How many words can you make from the letters found in the Partridge Family? I love this book because it's not written in, it's not colored. It's very clean and pristine, and the pages there's some yellowing around the pages, but for the most part, I mean, it's almost like brand new. Great poster here. I would have colored this and hung this on my wall. A lot of different things here, right? So you've got some action photos of David Cassidy in concert. A doorknob poster. Do not enter by order of Sheriff David Cassidy. Very creative. Very unique. Some important questions and answers from Keith and Danny. Why did the old lady put wheels on her rocking chair? Okay, so I get more kind of hokey jokes there. But still kind of fun. Find a partridge word puzzle. I hated word puzzles when I was a kid. I don't know about you, but I would have skipped this whole thing. I would have colored the boxes. Did not like the word puzzles. It made me nervous. Couldn't figure them out. Shirley Jones plays the part of Shirley. March 31st, of course, is her birthday, so they got that correct. And then a partridge room decoration, almost kind of like a Mob-eel. Whatever. You know what I mean. It's easy to make. Just paste it on a thin piece of cardboard. Paste gift wrapping paper on the reverse side. Oh, okay. That's pretty cool. And they said, oh, make sure that you finish the next page before cutting this out, because on the next page, yeah, you don't want to cut this out and then you miss coloring all of these. Cast. We made a mistake. We incorrectly named the pictures below. Can you cross out the wrong names and place the correct partridge names underneath? Of course. Easy. David Cassidy plays some basketball. How many baskets did he make? Some bookmarkers. So much fun. So many cool things, right? I mean, just great things in this, and really aimed at that generation of kids, right? I mean, I was, you know, I was like 9, I guess 9, 8, 9, 10, something like that. So these are the things that we love to do, and had all these great things. Great mini poster of David in vivid black and white. So great. Thank you for being our fan. Love the Partridge Family. What a great book. What a great activity book. This would keep me busy for hours. And this edition that I have is like so great because it's so pristine. And take a look at another one that I have. And actually I have 3 of these, and I don't know why. I think it's just because over the years I've forgotten that I have this, and then I get one and I'm like, oh dang, I already have this. This one's a little beat up. So again, these were put out by Artcraft, Sawfield Publishing. Not sure what year this came out. But to change your price there, 59 cents for this one. So this was a little bit higher. So I'm thinking this probably came out later than this one. This one came out before this one. I'm guessing just because of the price. All right, you have 69 cents as opposed to 59 cents. A 10-cent increase. But there are different things in here. So let's take a look at one of the better versions I have. Be a better version. So this is David Cassidy's Paint and Color album. A special book for David's fans. Posters to color, things to make, full color stand-ups of David, a special pinup portrait. Great, man. I would love this. I'd be like going to town, driving down the road, or just sitting in my room at night, you know. It's kind of boring, you know. We didn't have a lot of TV on. There was no internet or anything like that, you know. So we just open up our activity book or sit on the kitchen table and do it. Hi, babe. Because that's what David called us, right? I sincerely hope you love this book I made especially for you. There are many things to color and make and hang in your room too. Have fun. Oh, I see. It's kind of like a Valentine's Day card from David. Famous picture. This is my television family. The Partridge Family. They are really wonderful to work and play with. Again, kind of first person. There, this is my Partridge Family mother and my real-life stepmother, Shirley Jones. She's the greatest mom anyone could ever wish for. So nice. And then some stats on David. 125 pounds. And that's, I think all of these are pretty true. Seen interviews with David, and they asked him that question, how much, you know, he weighed back in the day. And he said he'd go between 125 to 130. David Cassidy bookmarker, color with bright groovy colors. Okay. Have a bookmarker there. The doorknob poster. Love the doorknob posters. I'm going to bring those back. Some more famous pictures. Kind of faded over the years. The whole Partridge family is having a good laugh at Reuben Kincaid's expense. Does look that way, doesn't it? David Invisible Ink formula. I'm working on a formula for invisible ink. Squeeze the juice of half a lemon into a small cup or jar using a toothpick. Write your message with it. Then the juice dries. Your writing will be visible. That's pretty cool. Some nutty thoughts from David. The only way to make a slow horse fast is not to feed him. Aha. Again, more. I don't know where they got these jokes from, but I don't know. This is the beginning of my mobile. I don't know why. How do you pronounce mobile? Mobile. This is the beginning of my mobile. Color the next 4 pages using bright colors. Is it mobile or mobile? Like a baby's mobile. Ugh, I don't know. So this is fun. I always love to do these type of coloring. I love David. Up with David Cassidy. That's funny. So basically you just hang these off of a hanger. Make a little decoration for your room. How do you like David's new hat? Well, anyway, isn't it tall? Would you guess that it was twice as high as the brim is wide? Okay, so a little guessing game there. I'm going to measure it with a ruler, which we're not going to do. And then a full David Cassidy poster. These are fun, right? Maze, crossword puzzle. of the crossword puzzles. Oh yeah. Boy, I used to make these for my mom all the time. I don't know what she did with them. She always seemed to like them, but I never saw them after I gave them to her. So remember this? You'd get a coffee can and then you'd put like pictures around it or a little montage, collage. So great. Now the coffee cans are plastic, or they're not even cans, they're pods, so we can't even do that anymore. Photograph for Partridge Family desk pencil holder. So yeah, it's a little dark, but I'd work with that. Cut it out and paste it on a coffee can. David Cassidy is totally great, especially when he's playing tennis wearing his numbered shirt. Can you add up and find the total? Well, the only thing in this book that I guess besides the crossword puzzle back there, somebody did decide to add up David's shirt, so that's great. Either that or they just looked at the answer. We are happy members of the David Cassidy fan club. It's here. Here's your official fan club member scroll. Sign up your friends. Aw, JJ. That was his book. Gail Baker also put in her name. David's favorites. Some of David's favorites. Yeah, these are true. I've seen these. Love the Beatles. Love Lobster. And he said that one of his favorite songs, The Thrill Is Gone. Love New York City. Love Catherine Ross. I heard him say that a few times. And then you can paste your photo here. I guess this is part of, oh, okay, I see you. There you go. That's a big poster. I guess you're supposed to take out. And then more David Cassidy stats. Oh, true. So cool. Very cool. Identify and write your hero's name under his picture in the boxes. Oh, so I guess you just write David Cassidy. And then from these letters, you can form shorter words. I gotcha. Okay. Pretty cool. A happy birthday card for you to color and send out. So kind of like the other book. And they have like a birthday card, but this is David Cassidy. For your birthday, I wanted to send him in person, but he just didn't fit in the envelope. Great. Oh, this is a cool little game. What kind of day will it be? Find out. Just toss a coin from a distance of 3 feet away from this page and find out your forecast. Don't look in the mirror. Fantastic. I wish I had a coin here, but I don't. That's fun. Here are some pen and ink sketches of David for you to color and enjoy, and a photo too. So awesome. Looks a little like Davy Jones. I don't know. Thanks for buying my book. Hope you enjoyed it, David Cassidy. Wouldn't it have been great if it was his book and he actually made some money off of this stuff? But yeah, so very cool. Oh, bring back so many memories. Like I said, I got a whole stack of these things, and they're just so much fun to look through and kind of reminisce. Well, how fun was that to look at some of these activity books? So cool. I mean, and like I said, I haven't looked at these in years, so I didn't even know what I had here. It's so fascinating. Even my dog is fascinated with it. He's like, show us more. Always trying to upstage me. Anyway, I hope that you enjoyed this episode of my Partridge Family Collection. So much fun to look back at all this stuff. And oh, I don't normally do this, but the next episode, I'll give you a little sneak peek. I know I've been talking about the Viewmasters, and I've got like the whole collection of Partridge Family Viewmaster reels, and I was trying to figure out how to show them or how to share them with you. And then an idea came to me, and I was like, oh, of course, that's the way I'm going to show the reels. So you'll have to stay tuned in the next episode for that, and you'll be pleasantly delighted. And then I think also you'll be saying, of course, that's the only way to look at the Viewmaster reels. Share it with other people. I don't know why I didn't think about it before. And if you don't want to miss that episode, remember to hit the notification bell. Of course, hit the subscribe button, and then hit the like. That helps other Partridge Family fans, other David Cassidy fans out there find us. And we all want to share this this collection with as many Partridge Family David Cassidy fans out there, because we know that you're out there. We know that you're out there, and love hearing your comments too. So leave a comment if you like. Tell me how to pronounce mobile. I think it's mobile. And now I'm going to go and take off my Partridge Family very rare shirt, so I don't mess it up, because I'm sure I'm going to spill something. I'm going to knock into something. It's bound to happen. Once again, thank you for joining my Partridge Family collection. I hope that you're enjoying it. And we'll see you in the next episode. Right, Luca? Right? Okay, let's go.